What's up, guys? Alex again at Power by the Hour. A lot of people are like, oh, come you always say you're at Power by the Hour, because I'm always at Power by the Hour. So today we're going to do a mini manifold shootout in a completely different vehicle. Now, you saw me last time basically test two manifolds out, the stock one, the 18 manifold, and a GT350 manifold on my red S550. Today we have an opportunity to get a Gen 1 engine going and testing it on pump gas stock manifold, then pump gas 18 manifold, then we're gonna go E85 18 manifold. That's the plan for today, and the test vehicle is going to be Frank Perdomo's Gen 1 equipped Foxbody road race car. As you can tell, it already has a smaller cold air than factory, really, but as you saw in previous videos, it's sampling the air from the fender away from any potential turbulence. It's a totally stock Gen 1 motor on a Ford Racing control pack, and it's currently on pump gas. What we're going to do is we're going to warm it up, get it up to temperature, run it, make at least 2 hits to see what kind of numbers we get for baseline. I'm going to try to do it different this time. I'm going to try to max out this combo. I'm going to try to max out this particular combo on his car, and then do the same thing on the 18 manifold, because the 18 manifold at the end of the day is the one that's going to stay. If you want Frank, this is Frank, by the way, everyone. If you want to like roll it so the drivetrain gets warmed up and shit, just hit the red button, I think. What you got going on in the aim dash? Show people the aim dash stuff, brother. Here, grab the
AIM MXG. It's a good lap timer for road racing. It's kind of pricey, but it's good. It has GPS antenna, CAN bus capabilities. You can program just about any sensor you want into it, in or out of their catalog. And you got all these different dashboard layouts you can run, customize with a laptop. Oh, there you go. Different dashboard layouts you can run, different parameters you can set up. So you can see you got attack. But yeah, just really neat tool, really expensive tool, but it's really good for road racing. We use it a lot. Gives you predictive lap times too while you're running. They have all sorts of expansion modules for it. So they have them in smaller sizes too. Okay. They now have a Pista that has, instead of all the racing stuff, they have all the factory looking symbols and turn signals and stuff like that. So it's not a bad option for Coyote swaps, F100s, and it's more streetable than like that.
go around the car and see what the deal is. He's got his exhaust coming out the side, so people can definitely hear him. He's got a real nice Willwood brake setup on the car. Some SVE wheels. Car looks good. It's sharp. We left the wing on for maximum downforce on the dyno. I'll go over the straps real quick. But yeah, let's make some baseline hits. She made 392. Let's go to torque right here. How much torque? 392, 362 as it sits. So I'll look at the log, see what it did. I'm gonna try to do this. Just the plan. I'm gonna try to max out this combo just to see what it does. And if there's meat on the bone, cool. If not, we'll just swap it all over.
When we originally did it, we got to a comfortable number.
Yeah.
Everything is okay. We didn't try to max it out.
Right.
And then we just started working on detuning it, which.
Okay. I'll see what kind of gas quality we got, and if we need more timing, I'll throw it in there.
I lost the wheel pressure.
So I didn't like it. All right, so we'll use a 392 as the baseline. All right, cool. Look at this day. I'm sorry guys, I gotta appreciate how beautiful it is today here in Florida. Probably what, 77, 76?
The humidity is the key to that.
There's no humidity. There's no humidity.
There's a breeze.
There's a breeze.
The sun's out. It's hot in the sun.
Yeah, but I'm telling you guys, why the hell do you live anywhere else? No offense. Why the hell? Okay, back to this. Sorry.
Wish we had seasons.
Yeah, I just wish we had snow. I like to see the leaves change color. Whoa! And then rake them for 3 months. Shut the fuck up.
Bracket.
So this is for the throttle body on a Coyote?
Yes.
Needs it to clock it to the right.
For our alternator bracket.
Alright.
So it's not a spacer. It's just to clock it. But if you need a spacer, they're exceptionally well made. So good that other companies have used it and then copied it.
No shit. Alright, so put that on, stock throttle body, plug all the holes. We'll upload the tune. Hey-yo. Hey-yo. Air Canada. Okay, so we're logging with the N-Gauge, and short-term fuel trim is 0.98 to 0.99. It's literally perfect. Yep, like within 2%. So we're gonna do an idle slow rev vlog on the dyno, and then we're gonna go watt and record it over the max run of 392, 362. Second gear, and we'll check out what fuel trims are doing. To record it. Actually, let me go to the make run screen. How that works. What'd you let off at 7,000?
Yeah. Oh shit! I get a pull higher.
You know what? Make a pull to 7,700. You know, I think the limiter is 77 on it.
Okay.
Because it went to 392, but it was still climbing. If you look at the graph, it's still climbing. So let me hit OK. If you'll make another hit, fueling looks good. So I'd say make another hit. Power might be down, but we'll dial it in. Timing's different. Look at the red run, right? I'll flip it around, and you can see how power drops off in blue. And blue is the stock manifold, right? See how it drops off after 6,800? The other one carries, but peak is the same, right? People freak out about the peak to peak.
So it's just allowing you to use RP more power higher.
Exactly. So it brings the power band up quite a bit, and I think we're still hitting an octane limitation because of peak. But I'll look at the log, and we'll see what we can do. Go ahead. So what, Frank, what happened? What's going on? Why are we having issues
What?
with the FIC 1000s? Why did we have issues?
Well, there's a big difference in injector data between the FICs and some of the other well-known injectors.
Right.
We found when we put the fuel I bought, the E85, in the tank, didn't want to start. So you looked at a couple logs, and basically what we came up with is that I bought the wrong shit. When a guy hit a button, I just went there and started hitting buttons and filling jugs. And
So that station has E15 flex fuel.
it has E15, E30, E85, and then diesel,
Yeah.
88 octane.
It does have 88. It does.
And like, I can't find 93 anywhere because I was going to buy 85 and 93 just in case my 93 was bad.
Right.
And I hit the 85 button and ketchup came out.
Yep. So once I put the pump gas tune in it, well, it was stoic for E85 9.85, and it wouldn't even start. So I said, okay, let me put the pump gas tune back in there, and it's trimming about 20 to 15% different. So it's about E50, E40. So what he's gonna do, he's gonna go get some actual E85 from a racetrack where I get it from. It's consistently E85, and then we're gonna put the E80, the back. That's the same tune I started on it, and see how close we are, and then we're gonna make a pull on E85 with FIC. Good job, Frank. Way to get flex fuel. I appreciate it. Okay, we got E85 in there now, proper E85. What's it? Yes. I'm gonna pull it up to 7,700. I threw a bunch of timing at her because I know there's E85 in it with pump gas. When I tried timing, it kicked it back. We'll see what happens with this guy. We're logging, see what we can get out of a fuel change. Sounds good. 408, 359. And it right around 7,500 it started to lay over. You look at the red graph. It's
melted.
But it's up everywhere. It's up everywhere. Power over the curve is up everywhere.
So run file 6?
The red one, the most recent. It's the highest one. It's up over everything. Yeah, so you have power everywhere on the 85. It peaked where it peaked. I'm gonna look at the log, but look at if you do a pump gas 18 manifold over the pump with a E85, I'm gonna put those two graphs up. And I think we pull this guy, the middle one. So I'm gonna get rid of the blue one. Blue one. Remove selected run. Look at that. Oh my god. Like E85 is up over everything. Red one is E85, the other one is pump gas, same manifold, same injector even. So, no, not same injector, we did get FIC. So, I'll look at the log, and if there's meat on the bone. Okay, so we're up 12 horse over pump gas on the 18 manifold on the 85. I just touched up the fueling a little bit, added a little bit more timing because 30, 31 degrees. Anything after that, it's just spark, not really throwing power at it. So I said, let's make a final pull, see what it makes, and the next test eventually is gonna be a different cold air, but for now, we're gonna keep it as is and see what we can make on this setup. I'm hoping for another couple horse. What? See? 5 horsepower from a quarter or half a degree of timing. Let's take a peek. Is it up everywhere?
It looks like it.
Yeah, I threw it in down low too, just in case.
You can feel it at the beginning of the pull.
Dude, this thing sounds badass at what? Oh, I'm gonna jizz my dick. Jizz my dick. So
It's just gonna fall off.
remove selected run. Dude, that is so fucking pretty. Yeah. Well, that probably, I don't know what that
Fan turned on.
Probably. So look at that, man. So 414 365, 7 foot-pounds of torque, 6 foot-pounds of torque, up and up all over the place. Let me take this with my cell phone, it's a lot clearer. There we go, this video is a little more clear. So again, both the 85 runs, the difference between the top and bottom runs is 3/4 of a degree. And I touched the fueling. Fueling was off 5%. Now it's probably dead nuts. I'm gonna stop logging. I don't even gotta look at that log. That thing's pretty. So, as you can tell, the other one started to roll off at about 6,500. This guy starts to roll off at about 7,500 or so. But I'm telling you, it's up everywhere. There's a clear separation everywhere based on spark. So, I mean, an 18 manifold on a Gen 1, 414 horse, and you got usable power above 5,700. You got a ton of usable power. The other one would probably, I don't know. I mean, would you favor a torquier car and roll off at 6,500, or a car that makes more RPM up top, like this one does?
I don't know. It worked with torquier, limited power.
Right.
But I was driving it with 330 horsepower. Nobody.
Right. You were restricted.
Open. You know, it's not like you're going to take torque away from the 330. It was always at its max allowable. I haven't tracked this car with full power, so I don't know what that's going to give us. Does that mean the car's harder to drive?
Right.
Does the car, do I have to, I mean, obviously you got to start in different spots, right? Brake earlier and see how deep you can go, how much more speed you can carry into the end of the long straightaways, because
Right.
then you don't know if the car can slow down to the speed you need to be at the entry. So is it going to equate to 2 or 3 more mile an hour at the end of every straightaway? Because at Sebring, we're going almost 140 at the end of the back straightaway and about 135 at the front straightaway.
And this versus that manifold is probably up 80 horse.
Well, I was at 330 horsepower doing that.
Right.
So 80 horsepower, if I can get off the turns properly,
Yeah, shit.
it's going to go 145 at least, I would think.
So let me do this. I'm gonna take the laptop inside. I'm gonna label everything so that people can see the rundown, and we'll end the video. So, you happy with 414 FIC injectors in E85?
450.
Yeah, cams. Dude, cams in a big cold air. That's the next thing.
Cold air is next.
We gotta find a cold air. Cold air test, and we gotta do it like this.
I mean, I can
whatever
make the
day.
same exact thing out of 3.5.
Yeah. Or a known cold air, like a PMAS,
Just
air
bolt it
raid, or anything. Bolt it on, and we know what the deal is. Okay, let's share the results with Frank's Foxbody that has a Coyote swap from a Gen 1 car, a Gen 1 Coyote swap car, and we did the manifold swap, and then we swapped over to E85 with some FIC 1000 injectors. So let's get cracking. Stock manifold on pump gas pull yielded 392 rear wheel horsepower, 362 foot-pounds of torque. Peak power was at 6,500. Peak torque was at 4,300, let's say. Then I attempted to throw more timing at it. Same exact vehicle, same exact mods. But people always tell me, Alex, send it, send it, send it. Give me everything it's got. Give me everything it's got. And it made less power. Why? Because we hit an octane limitation and the NOx sensors kicked back power. So we made 382, 392. Let's erase the runs and we'll see what happens when we went 18 manifold pump gas. Look at that, exact same horsepower. But again, just like my vehicle over here, we're higher than we were with the stock manifold. You see the roll off go pretty hardcore on the stock manifold in red. Now Frank only pulled it to about 7,000 RPMs, but it's very apparent that the 18 manifold, there's a definite split here of about 15 horsepower or so, or 10. And the 18 manifold has less of a roll off than the stock manifold. Obviously, just like before on my car, torque was better with the stock manifold up until about 5,500 RPM, and then everything past that point is pretty much 18 manifold territory. Okay, so now let's get rid of all the runs, and we're gonna go put the 18 manifold on pump gas versus 18 manifold E85 with FIC 1000 injectors. Bang, look at that, 408, 359, and it's up everywhere. Again, I didn't shove a bunch of timing in it. I let the NOx sensors add timing, and look at that, it's up everywhere. Clear separation. 18 manifold pump gas in blue versus 18 manifold in red, which is E85 and FIC 1000 injectors. Torque is up, horsepower is up, it's just rolling out. So then what did I do? I said, you know what? Now that I know there isn't an octane limitation, let me go 18 manifold E85 and more timing. Look at that. I threw more timing at it because I know there is no octane limit anymore. The limitation, I'm sorry. I can send it. I say, here we go. When people say, Alex, I want you to send it, I say, what fuel are you on? They say E85. I'm more likely to send it. Why? Because the car will react accordingly. We are up from 18 manifold. So we're gonna, let's do this. 18 manifold pump gas, 18 manifold E85. Boom, boom. So we're gonna get rid of 18 manifold pump gas, remove selected run. So we went from 408, from the knock sensors adding the timing itself or the knock sensors adding timing on their own, where they're, and then me shoving timing in it, we got 6 more horsepower and we got 6 more foot-pounds of torque all across the board, up all over the place. So if you put these up, the manifold, 18 manifold on pump gas versus 18 manifold, let me really move all runs. 18 manifold pump gas, 18 manifold max timing E85. Look at the insane separation we get there. We went from 392 on pump gas with an 18 manifold to 414. I know what you're gonna say. Whoa, my buddy made more and this other company made more. Well, guess what? If that other company can get on this dyno today, I guarantee the results are either similar or a little less because we're just better tuners. So at the end of the day, E85 is my preference all the time, and this is why. Because when I tell it, here's the sauce, it reacts. There it is, proof's in the pudding. This guy peaked at 6,800 RPM, and there was less of a roll-off as opposed to the 392 run on pump gas. So now let's do a graph that shows 18 manifold E85 more timing versus stock manifold pump gas. There you go. So there's a massive split here of about 25 horsepower at 6,000 RPM. There's a massive split here of about 25 foot-pounds of torque at the same RPM, 6,000 RPM. Peak to peak, let's say at 7,000 RPMs, this car's making over 25 more rear wheel horsepower and about 18 or more foot-pounds of torque. E85 18 manifold versus pump gas stock manifold. So it all depends on your configuration. Your stock manifold will make a decent amount of torque, but at the end of the day, I want E85 and a high revving manifold, high revving rev range for these Coyote cars. So let me end the video there by saying thank you to all the guys that appreciate the amount of work that it takes to collect this data. This is a lot of work. It is Saturday, February 23rd, 1 week after I did my manifold test. I did it on Frank's car. I did a manifold test, then I did a fuel change test, and we could have kept going, but honestly, I am beat. So I appreciate you guys thanking me for making tests like this, because all I want to do is get you information. So 18 manifold, great bang for the buck. I am not going to put the GT350 manifold on this car because honestly, I just don't want to. It doesn't need to happen. The 18 manifold is a great bang for the buck, as you saw in my previous test. But the main test today for me was the E85 versus pump gas. I know what you're going to say. Why didn't you do E85 on a stock manifold? Because honestly, you saw how the power rolls off after 6,500 RPM. I just didn't think there was a huge benefit with the current configuration. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. More tests coming up with the red car. Cold air test coming up next, along with throttle body test. And yes, I'll be shoving this guy on a stock Mustang and see if it gains any power. Thanks for listening, guys. We'll talk to you later.